Have you ever wondered if time travel could actually be possible? Moment that you could travel through time. What if you could visit the ancient pyramids when they were first built? Or maybe step into the future to witness how our world has changed? Time travel is a fascinating concept, something we've seen in countless movies, books and TV shows. But is it just fiction, or is there some truth to the idea? Today, we're going to explore the science of time travel, the paradoxes that come with it, and whether it's something we could actually achieve in the future. Let's start by asking, what exactly is time travel? In the simplest sense, time travel is the idea of moving between different points in time, much like we move between different points in space. But unlike how we travel through space, like hopping on a plane and flying from one city to another, time travel suggests that we can move forwards or backwards in time itself. But how would that even work? The concept of time travel became more popular with the rise of science fiction, but believe it or not, the idea of time travel isn't all that new. It has roots in philosophy, with thinkers like H.G. Wells writing The Time Machine back in 1895, where he explored time as a physical dimension that could be navigated. Since then, it has been a recurring theme in stories and theories alike. Yet the real question is, could it actually happen? The most famous theory related to time travel comes from one of the greatest minds in history, Albert Einstein. According to his theory of relativity, time is not a constant, and it can be affected by things like gravity and speed. Einstein proposed that as you move faster, especially as you approach the speed of light, time actually slows down for you. This idea is known as time dilation. To understand time dilation, imagine you're on a spaceship traveling near the speed of light. While you're flying through space, time for you slows down. Meanwhile, back on Earth, time continues at a normal pace. So, after you return from your journey, you may have only aged a few years, but decades have passed on Earth. In this way, you've essentially traveled into the future. This idea isn't just a fun thought experiment. It's been proven to some extent with atomic clocks. Scientists have sent clocks on airplanes, and the ones that flew at higher speeds actually ticked slightly slower than the ones left on the ground, just like Einstein said they would. But what about traveling to the past? This is where things get tricky. The idea of moving backwards in time opens up a whole world of paradoxes, logical problems that arise when we try to imagine changing events in the past. One of the most famous paradoxes is the grandfather paradox. Imagine you travel back in time and for some reason prevent your grandfather from meeting your grandmother. If that happened, your parents wouldn't be born, and neither would you. So, if you never existed, how could you have traveled back in time in the first place to stop your grandparents from meeting? This creates a contradiction, which is why the idea of time travel to the past is so difficult to accept. There's also the issue of causality. In a universe where everything happens for a reason, time travel could mess up the cause and effect relationship between events. If you went back in time and changed something small, say you stopped a small accident from happening, it could cause a chain of events that would drastically alter the future. It's hard to predict the consequences of those changes, which is why some scientists think that time travel might be impossible because it would break the fundamental laws of cause and effect. But that doesn't mean that all hope is lost. There's another theory introduced by Russian physicist Igor Novikov called the Novikov self-consistency principle. This principle suggests that if time travel is possible, then any action taken in the past would have to be consistent with the timeline. In other words, no matter what you did, the past would correct itself to prevent paradoxes. For example, even if you tried to stop your grandparents from meeting, some unforeseen event would happen that would still lead to them getting together. In this way, the timeline would stay intact and paradoxes would be avoided. Another possibility lies in the idea of wormholes. A wormhole is a hypothetical tunnel through space-time, a shortcut between two distant points in the universe. If these wormholes exist, they could act like a time portal, allowing you to travel to the past or future. The problem is that no one has ever found a wormhole, and even if we did, we'd still need to figure out how to safely travel through one. Wormholes are thought to be incredibly unstable, and there's a chance they could collapse before you had a chance to pass through them. But what does the future hold? Will we ever be able to travel through time, or is it all just a dream? Well, scientists are still exploring the possibilities. The most likely avenue for time travel may involve finding ways to manipulate space-time itself, possibly through the use of quantum mechanics, or by discovering new physics we don't yet understand. Right now, time travel exists mostly in the realm of theory and imagination, but some researchers are optimistic that, with the right breakthroughs, we could one day find a way to travel through time. One thing that's clear is that time travel forces us to rethink the very nature of reality. If we can travel through time, does that mean the future is already written? Or do we have the power to shape it with our choices? Time travel opens up philosophical questions about free will, determinism, and the nature of existence itself. It forces us to confront how we understand the past, the present, and the future. So, is time travel possible? It's hard to say. The science is still in its early stages, and many of the paradoxes and challenges may never be resolved. But one thing is for sure. The idea of time travel, whether it's just a dream or something that could one day become a reality, has sparked our imagination for centuries. And perhaps the greatest lesson we can take from all of this is that the future is still full of possibilities, some of which we may one day have the ability to explore, just like the time travelers of our dreams. What do you think? Could time travel one day become a reality? Or is it a concept that will forever remain in the realm of science fiction? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into time travel, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating content.